Is low blood pressure even a thing? You know, we hear so much about high blood pressure causing heart attacks and strokes, like basically blowouts. And if you go into your doctor and your blood pressure is like 92 over 60, your doctor's going to be like, hey, great job, way to go. And then you feel lousy. So the doctor's just saying, great job, you're not going to have a blowout. You're far away from having a blowout. But for the person dealing with that low blood pressure, maybe they feel good that they're not going to have a blowout, but is it any fun running around town on flat tires all day? If your blood pressure is under 112 for the systolic top number, you're not going to want to miss this.
TC Hale is not a doctor and does not claim to be a doctor or licensed in any type of medical field. Don't be an idiot and use anything heard on the show as medical advice. This information should be used for educational purposes only, and you should contact your doctor for any medical advice. Now get off me.
For the longest time, the optimal blood pressure has been considered 120 over 80, and high blood pressure was anything over 140. So if 20 points over the optimal of 120 is considered high blood pressure, shouldn't 20 points under be considered low? Shouldn't a blood pressure of 100 over 70 be considered low blood pressure? I think it should. A lot of folks are often surprised to hear about some of the symptoms that can correlate with low blood pressure. Things like depression and bipolar disorder and other mental and emotional issues, cravings, dizzy spells, fatigue, major PMS issues, even irregular periods. Even insomnia can sometimes be caused by low blood pressure. Now, a lot of these issues have other possible underlying causes as well, but with these things, a lot of times low blood pressure is a major contributor or the actual underlying cause to the problem. When we're looking at blood pressure, this is a reflection of the minerals in the system, as well as protein a little bit, glucose, and even filth and toxins that haven't been removed. That can all kind of reflect what the blood pressure is going to be. But when blood pressure is low, this is often a reflection of low minerals in the system. Now, minerals are needed for the body to send signals from the brain to the body and from the body back to the brain again. And when these signals can't travel through the minerals because there's not enough minerals there, signals get dropped, functions don't happen, and we experience a lot of these symptoms like the dizzy spells or the mental and emotional issues like we talked about just a second ago. Let me know right now in the comments section if you've been dealing with any of these symptoms and any steps you may have taken to try to improve them. Now, the most common cause for low mineral levels is poor digestion. So if you're dealing with any digestive issues like burping or bloating or acid reflux, constipation, diarrhea, nausea, or even acne or skin type issues, those are all really strong signs that digestion is not working optimally and you're not pulling all the nutrients out of the food. In order to access the minerals from the food that we eat, we have to be able to break that food down. Here's how it works. When we eat food, our stomachs make hydrochloric acid or HCl. Now this acid is made to start breaking the food down. It acidifies the food and starts that breakdown process. Once the food is acidified, it moves out of the stomach into the small intestine where the gallbladder drops bile down on this acid. Now the bile is very alkaline, and when the alkaline bile meets this acid product from the stomach, it creates this sizzle. And this sizzle is what helps us really bust that food apart and pull all the minerals out of that food. The problem is, for a wide variety of reasons, a lot of people are not making enough stomach acid to acidify their food correctly. And even those that are, a lot of people aren't having their bile flow correctly. A lot of times bile will become too thick and sticky to flow correctly, and it doesn't come down and neutralize the acids and create that sizzle. We need both sides of digestion working correctly to create that sizzle and truly bust the food apart and pull all the minerals out of that food. Now, a big problem with this is that the body needs minerals to be able to make hydrochloric acid. And the body needs enough hydrochloric acid to be able to pull all the minerals out of the food. So if a person gets stuck with low stomach acid, they can be in this cycle of broken digestion for years or even decades. So to improve a lot of these symptoms that often go along with low blood pressure, we really need to improve digestion so that we can pull more minerals out of the food that we're eating. Now we can also take steps to lift minerals by supplementing with minerals, but it doesn't seem to work as well as truly fixing digestion so you can access the nutrients in the food you're eating every day. We're eating the food so that we can get the nutrients. Why not help the body work correctly so it can pull the minerals out of that food? Now, to help you figure out what aspects of digestion may not be working well for you, we have a free online digestion course that'll walk you through that step process of figuring out what's going on with you and your body, and then show you the steps you can take to improve any aspects of digestion that aren't working correctly. We'll put the link to that free course down in the description below. Beyond poor digestion, there are other aspects that can be causing or contributing to your low blood pressure, things like hypoglycemia. You know, we hear a lot about insulin resistance and inability for the cells to respond to insulin, and the person has to make all kinds of insulin just to process a little bit of carbohydrates. But when there's an imbalance possible like that, there's almost always an imbalance in the other direction that can be possible too. So a lot of times with hypoglycemia, we see a person who is responding too effectively to insulin. So it's almost like their insulin is like a big bully, and it sweeps too much glucose out of the bloodstream too quickly and creates that sugar crash. And when that's the case, a person usually only needs to use a very small amount of insulin to process the carbohydrates that they're eating. And when insulin stays very low, it can cause a person to pee out too many minerals. So they may be digesting okay, but the amount of minerals that they have are getting peed out because insulin is so low. We also see this a lot with a ketogenic diet because the person's not eating any carbohydrates and insulin is going very low. This can be very effective for helping them lose weight, but if they already have low mineral levels, that insulin staying too low can cause them to pee out too many minerals and cause problems with low blood pressure and all the symptoms that it can create. Now, I'm a fan of a ketogenic diet, but only when it's used for the right person. If a person's mineral levels are already too low, they really need to fix that issue before they can truly succeed on a ketogenic diet. So if you think you're dealing with hypoglycemia type issues, we're going to put some info on how to understand that and steps you can take to correct it in the description below. The free course also walks you through some steps that can help improve hypoglycemia issues as well. Now, the last thing we want to talk about here is it's possible that someone may be drinking too much water. Yeah, even water isn't right for everybody. It's really crazy how we really need to look at the individual and their unique bio-individuality to figure out what's right for them. There is no step that's right for every person, not even water. So if a person has really low mineral levels and they're drinking all this water just because somebody said, hey, you need to drink 8 glasses of water every day, they're just washing out the small amount of mineral that they have. Now, their body may really require water, and more water really could help a lot of functions, but it can also be very important that a person qualifies to drink that water. And if a person's mineral levels are really low, they should take steps to improve that issue before they increase the amount of water that they're drinking. We see a lot of people that can feel a whole lot better by just decreasing the amount of water that they're drinking when they're drinking too much for the amount of minerals that they have in the system. So if you need help figuring any of those things out, the free course will kind of walk you through looking at your own physiology. You can run tests at home with simple tools you can pick up at a pharmacy or a health food store, and you can figure out what steps you may need to take to improve any low blood pressure issues and help you move past some of these symptoms that you're dealing with. For now, be sure to watch our playlist on optimizing digestion, and that'll give you some more insights how you can take steps to improve any digestive issues. I can't wait to hear about your results.